Nuggets season is over, along with everybody else in the
catch,
NBA.
guys.
Regular season over. Is Melvin Hunt the guy? How extensive will this coach search be for the Nuggets? Should they make a run? I'm going to look at him when I say this.
Okay.
At Scotty Brooks.
Okay.
Sure. If indeed Oklahoma City, which he has 1 year left, and here's a little parallel here, the team has an option for another year, but here was a guy who was coach of the year. Here's a guy who did a great job, I thought, this year, and they'd get rid of him because he hadn't brought them a championship. He got them to the finals, a young team. He didn't trade. The last time I checked, Scotty Brooks didn't trade Harden, did he? I mean, he was not responsible.
I don't
for that.
get the displeasure with him. You know, you read things
Well,
and
Priestley says
they say
there,
too simplistic an offensive system.
But yes, I would think that
Went to the NBA Finals.
But to answer your question, 5 minutes after he's out the door, he's in the door over here because he was a lead assistant for George.
Yeah, he knows this place.
Yeah, he knows how to coach at altitude. He knows how to coach talented young players. We would believe that the Nuggets would have a couple of talented young players after the draft is over with, and maybe a couple of others. So Scotty Brooks moves right at the top of the list. And they asked me on Around the Horn on the conference call this morning, do you think this is a good deal? I went, yeah. Why? And I said, because we want him here.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I wasn't in love with him as a assistant coach. I was.
Sure.
I mean,
what do we know about him as an assistant coach? I mean,
well,
we
don't
know that
have
George
to worry
relied
about him
on
as an assistant coach. You don't have to worry about what I was like in college. That's so far away that it's removed. But
he's a different
I'd
guy
like to
now.
hear some stories.
And not only that, I mean, think about this. They went to the final day of the regular season and missed out on the playoffs without the reigning MVP, Kevin Durant,
Right.
without Serge Ibaka
Sure.
for much of the season. So he was missing 2 out of 3 players.
So you would be in favor of him too, both of you?
I mean, yeah, if he's available, of course.
He's not my number one choice,
Who's your
but it
number
wouldn't
one
be a
coach?
bad choice.
Yeah.
Who's
Well,
your number one coach?
You'll know my number one choice when I do my commentary a little later in the
well,
show.
I'm
a TV guy. I throw a tease at you, okay?
Right. Okay, well, forget about him. You stay out of the way.
Yeah. Well, Woody?
Alvin Gentry doesn't do anything for me.
No.
He's had a run, but D'Antoni, I like. That's not. I mean, that wouldn't be the highest choice in the world. Billy
Right.
Donovan, no, I wouldn't want him here.
Billy Donovan might end up in Oklahoma City because he's friends with the owner.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
Yeah.
I think Melvin Hunt would be a fine candidate, and I've written praises about him, but just knowing the Kroenke family, knowing what's happened over there this past year, I don't think they want to hire a first-time head coach. I know he's coached 20 games or whatever, but a first-time head coach to run this team for the next 3 or 4 years. So I think a guy like D'Antoni, while he's not enticing or not, you debate it, is more of a leading candidate.
Yeah, I saw Mile High Sports, and this is not big, but I get the emails from Mile High Sports,
Sure.
and a young man there wrote that Melvin Hunt would make a great stopgap coach. Well, that's what he is right now.
He's currently a stopgap coach.
What is stopgap? What do you mean,
That's
2 or 3
what I'm
years?
going to address in my commentary.
Ooh, I can't wait for
I
less.
don't want somebody here who's a stopgap. I don't want Bezdelic. I don't want people that are going to pass through town. I want somebody that's like George Karl that's here 9 to 10 years.
You don't want to bridge to the future. You want the future.
Yeah.
You want the guy who's going to be
Yeah.
here. When you hire a guy, you don't hire a guy to be a stopgap. You hire him to be the coach for the next 10 years.
You are absolutely right. I don't want the bridge over the River Kwai. I want
Bridge over troubled water.
Or
the bridge over the Kawhi Leonard.
I want the bridge, the Golden Gate Bridge. It's going to be there for a long time.
Exactly.
And painted orange and beautiful bridge and beautiful views from the bridge. That's what I want.
That's Woody's bridge.
I don't want that bridge. What was the bridge that Clint Eastwood and Meryl Streep were in? What was that bridge?
Madison County.
I don't want that.
Bridges of Madison County.
I don't want that. Yeah. Okay.
That's a good line, depending on who they hire. I wanted this bridge, and I got bridges of Madison County.
Yeah,
you like
well,
Scott-
it was one
No,
of those little old bridges that you took
Right.
horse carriages across.
Sure.
How about the bridge
Yeah.
at St.
About
Andrews?
this far.
That's a stopgap. The bridge
Yeah.
at St. Andrews.
Or
Yeah,
the
we want
Hogan
Golden
Bridge
Gate.
at Augusta.
We want
yeah.
Golden Gate. We want Golden State.
Well,
We want
let me ask you,
Golden
was
State.
Scotty Brooks an assistant when you were covering the team?
He wasn't, but I knew George pretty well, and he spoke so highly of him.
Yeah.
And he's clearly respected in that building, and he's clearly proven it as an NBA coach. Like Woody said, in his worst statistic or second worst statistical year, he's arguably coaching his best year because he's doing it without superstars, or at least without the reigning champion.
He took him to the playoffs 5 straight years. I mean, there's got to be something. I know they had a lot of talent on that team, but good coaches know what to do with good talent. There are plenty of coaches who don't know what to do with good talent
Right.
You're
and
with Woody
fail.
and Les and